Hey, is this Shedeur? Hey, this is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints. How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're gonna take you with our next pick right here, man.
This ain't gonna be nothing to do.
Hey, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that.
What does that mean? What? What did he say?
Unintentionally came across the draft contact phone number for Shedeur Sanders off an open iPad. The reason Shedeur Sanders had such a historic NFL draft fall has been revealed, and the NFL is not doing a good job at covering up. It's clear. It's not collusion. It's not because they hate Deion Sanders. It's not because of the interviews. It might be those reasons, but clearly the giant ratings jump in the NFL draft, especially the last 2 days in which they saw a 40% increase overall, has to be the reason. Now, not only that, but you have the whole prank call thing and the fact that the prank call, this is the first time prank calls have happened. Now, and people are trying to be like, oh, why is Shedeur Sanders' prank call being so magnified? Why is whenever NFL posts Shedeur Sanders, they get so many likes? Why is Shedeur Sanders dominating everything when it comes to ratings? It's the same reason why they probably told y'all in the first and second night, do not draft Shedeur Sanders. We have so many people tuned in at 11 o'clock on day 2 of the NFL draft. The NFL has never done anything like this. So first things first, we're going to listen to the new prank call because we have official, the other side of the call. We're going to listen to that. And then we're going to listen to what Andrew Berry and Stefanski had to say to Shedeur. Some people are saying that they wanted to humble him. We have some more here and then more details about the prank call. And then we even have the full Shedeur Sanders conference call. I think he came off pretty humble, but I always think he comes off pretty humble. So let's get right into it. And we're going to start with this nasty situation. But luckily, some more things have been exposed.
Hey, is this Shedeur? Hey, this is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints. How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're gonna take you with our next pick right here, man.
This ain't gonna be nothing to do.
Hey, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that.
What does that mean?
What? What did he say?
I don't know.
How you gonna ask us what it mean and you was on the phone?
You heard that?
He said you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
Sorry about that.
And of course, you got Caden and Connor going crazy in the background because this is, you know what I'm saying, this is going to be their 15 minutes of fame. But the NFL is officially looking into it. Obviously, Deion Sanders' reaction, I think, sums it up the best. We'll get here, and then we're going to go into the Browns.
Looking at Shedeur Sanders. Another option. Tyler Shuck going to
That's wild.
This video is already long, but here we are. This just happened as I was finishing up this recording. Falcons statement on the involvement of defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich's son, like we talked about in the video, Jax, in the draft weekend prank call to Shedeur Sanders. So this is what they had to say earlier in the week. Jax, the 21-year-old son, dang, 21. Yeah. Go ahead and pack him up. Jeff Ulbrich unintentionally came across the draft contact phone number for Shedeur Sanders off an open iPad while visiting his parents' home and wrote the number down to later conduct a prank call. Jeff Ulbrich was unaware of the data exposure or any facets of the prank and was made aware of the above only after the fact. The Falcons did not condone this behavior and sent out severe apologies to Shedeur Sanders and his family, who have been in contact with to apologize to, as well as facilitate an apology directly from Jax to the Sanders family. We have also been in contact with the NFL and will continue to cooperate fully with any inquiries they may receive by the NFL. We are thoroughly reviewing all protocols and updating if necessary to help prevent an incident like this happening. And you better do it because the draft pick Chase Lunt received 5 different prank calls throughout the draft day before finally getting drafted by Buffalo. That's crazy. And a lot of people are trying to be like, oh, why are people only making a big deal about Shedeur? Because Shedeur was live streamed and he was a presumed #1 pick. That's, I mean, you know, people are going to care about it. Jax Ulrich, the son of Falcons DC Jeff Ulrich, apologized for his prank call to Shedeur Sanders during the 2025 NFL draft on Instagram. Of course, this is after he deleted all his stuff. On Friday night, I made a tremendous mistake. You did. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It's completely inexcusable, embarrassing, and shameful. I'm so sorry I took away from your moment. It was selfish and childish. I could never imagine getting ready to celebrate one of the greatest moments of your life, and I made a terrible mistake and messed up with that moment. Thank you for accepting my call earlier today. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. So he went ahead and called him, got forgiveness, and the Falcons are not taking any action with the defensive coordinator, even though, I mean, clearly he just left out a bunch of sensitive information to a bunch of 20-something-year-olds and just allowed his 21-year-old, who's basically the same age as them. Like, this isn't like a 16-year-old, oh, the dude's 21. He's like a year younger than Shedeur? Am I tripping? Like, this is nasty. This is nasty. The kid's nasty. I hate that it happens to anybody else. But yeah, let's get back to the video. My fault. And I think it really adds to it because, again, at this point, this isn't just, oh, we're sad that we didn't get drafted. No, at this point, it's like confusion, right? And Shedeur Sanders goes on to, I think I have the video later, but he goes on to describe it as like, man, it feels like, you know, you in jail for something I didn't do. Like, I just feel like we're suffering for nothing, right? And a lot of people are going to get mad at him because, well, how dare you compare the dog? It's just an analogy. So if y'all could, like, keep y'all panties on 15 seconds, just an analogy. And I think what he's trying to say is that the frustration of feeling like, hey, man, I thought I did what I was supposed to do, at least feeling like that. And still, again, people making fun of you, people prank calling you. Like, why did people prank call you? Why did people expose these things? And obviously, also Tyler Warren was also prank called during the draft, receiving a call when the Jets were on the clock at number 7. I'm told Warren's camp believes it was the same number or area code involved in the Shedeur Sanders pick, and of course, they're officially under investigation. But don't worry, the NFL, the internet works faster than the NFL. I think Football DC, Jeff Ulbricht's son, Jax, was already behind Shedeur Sanders' prank call, allegedly. He was since deleted his Instagram account. Sanders' private number was only given up to NFL executives. He's wearing an Ole Miss. Oh, sorry, this is him. Sorry, so this is Jax, him right here. Some dude's wearing the Ole Miss Caden Connor. I thought this was his name. His name is Jax, which might be even more stereotypical to, a frat dude. But, out there at Berry College. By the way, side note, I don't live next to Berry College, but I visited it, when I was, trying to, live out my dreams of being a D3 football player. Literally, probably, y'all gonna have to tell me, one of the most beautiful campuses I've ever seen in my life. And it's a small private school in Berry College, out in the woods. There's deer running through the campus and stuff like that. It looks like Hogwarts. It's like castles, and I'm like, wow. I think Dortmund looks pretty good too. But Berry College, just let you know, shout out. Only thing they have within a 10-mile radius, though, or 30-mile radius, was an Olive Garden and an Applebee's. So that was it. So be mindful of that. But not the point. Going on. And then there is an NFL security issue and smoke conspiracy at the top. Joe Shonin, who is, I believe, the GM of the Giants' daughter, liking comments about her leaking Shedeur Sanders' number. So maybe there's multiple people leaking. I don't know, but clearly it's a nasty situation that people are going to start, uncovering. Now, to get to the nasty situation and how this all equates to what Shedeur Sanders is being used for, again, like I talked about and like I alluded to, the NFL draft saw a second highest viewership on record, 40% year-over-year rise. And let's see what the new GMs think about their quarterback, who's clearly bringing a lot of money for the NFL in general. Is it going to play? It's not playing. Why isn't that playing? I'm so sorry. Oh, wow. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. We got another one. Here it is.
Shedeur, he is probably a little bit opposite in terms of his personality of his dad. Obviously a little bit quieter, a little bit more introverted. But we felt good with him. We felt good with him as a person. He works hard. He's a really good kid. He wants to be great. His teammates, loved him in Colorado, and I know he'll come in here ready to work. Ready to try and put his best foot forward in all areas of competition.
Sorry, and I had to go find the other video I was talking about. Here's the actual tweet, and here's the thing where people are saying that, hey, this kind of adds the fuel to the fire of clearly Shedeur Sanders, the draft pick, was a utility for the NFL and less of a necessity for the GM.
Message to him, it's really all this. It's like, look, got to come in and work, and you got to come in and compete. That's the message. Nothing's given. Given the nature of the weekend for him, relative to, let's say, external expectation versus what happened, we did tell him that it really doesn't matter where you picked; it's what you do from that point forward. Because that's the reality for all the guys that we selected this weekend. In terms of his reaction, I just say it was probably a mixture of gratitude, relief, and determination. That would probably be the best way to characterize it. But he's certainly ready to go.
So some people, felt that was like a humbling moment. I don't really think so. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think that's technically what that is. And of course, we have this where apparently the Browns, after picking Shedeur Sanders, had not the best or not the most excited reaction. Now we are hearing, they're just them boys got them stank face. I can't show too much of this because it's copyrighted. But now apparently Mary Kay Cabot did say that I asked Browns Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry about this clip. Stefanski said not to read into it too much, that the video doesn't always time up with the actual timing of the pick. Now, I think these are all very, very convenient answers. But more importantly, I also think that this thing, I don't think this is them being humbled. I think this is just a cookie cutter generic statement of, hey, you're going to come in and prove it and work hard and do it. So I don't think this is, and here's the thing, you have to realize, and this is being transparent, some of y'all already know this, NFL GMs, especially GMs and head coaches, they're politicians, right? Understand that they know that they're not going to talk about, and I think some fans, I'm not saying you, but some fans think that that they're just talking just to talk, and they're talking as if they don't know they're being recorded, and that every single person in the locker room is going to hear all the words they say. That's how they talk. So understanding that, hey, he's going to come in, he's going to compete. Obviously, he had high expectations, but this is how it is. It might sound like that, but they're not going to actually, even if the implication was to actually humble him, they're not going to say it right here. That's just not how it is. You know what I'm saying? All real G's move in silence like lasagna. But let's talk about it. The real reason. There's been a lot of talks of conversations about collusion, what's it called? Arcisms. The Giants hating, never mind. We don't have to get into that. The Giants never drafting a certain type of complexion of quarterback. We could talk about the humbling. We could talk about people thinking he's brash. Some people say in the interviews now, while in real life, probably a lot of mixture of those things, and specifically the perception that those things had, right? Because there is no perception like that on Cam Ward, on Jackson Dart, of those things, right? Too many things to be perceived. That's probably what made him fall at the end of the day. Or was it collusion, but not in the way that you think? Not to punish Deion, not to punish Shedeur, but because NFL is so greedy, boy. And they don't just want to dominate all the TV when it comes to them playing football. They want to dominate TV ratings whenever football is not even being played. Shedeur Sanders got absolutely railroaded in this draft to force you to watch the 5th round of the NFL draft. You've never watched the 5th round of the draft. I know it. I know you've never watched it on TV, dog. I never did either until last Saturday. Ridiculous. Day 3, still getting raised. So let's look at it. So Shedeur's views versus all others. And this video, after a day, is now out 160,000. That's the video we're going to listen to a little bit if we have time. But here is his views on the Browns page. Here is the NFL Instagram page. Check Peep Game on the top 3 pinned. Peep Game. Hey, man, he bring the numbers in. So let's talk about numbers. Round 1 coverage of the 2025 NFL Draft was seen by an average audience of 13.6 million viewers, TV plus digital, across ESPN, NFL Network, ABC, ESPN, Deportes, and digital channels. The second most watched day 1 on record, behind only the 2020 year when everybody was locked inside of cages. That's the only other time it did that. Here's the NFL media tweeting out 2025 NFL Draft rounds 2 to 3 viewership. Rounds 2 to 3. Second most watched day 2 on record, so it's only the second most. That's interesting. Probably because of, what we talked about. 7.3 million average viewers across ESPN2 and ABC, up more than 40% versus 2024 based on Nielsen Fast Television. The NFL Draft TV ratings outperformed the NBA playoffs on Thursday night. Just show you how big the NFL product has become. Reading names off college football players is more of a draw than the first round of an NBA playoff game. Joe Pompliano, who does great things. This is the last year's. This is the scale last year. So remember, this year is bigger. Last year's scale, this was the first round of the NFL draft, averaged 12.1 million views, more viewers than the 2023 World Series, Stanley Cup Finals, college football regular season game, but one. So, they do big numbers. The NFL draft posts most watched opening round since 2020, as more than 13 million tuned in across ESPN, ABC, and NFL. Full article, Sanders drama boosts day 2 of NFL draft to 40% up. Check this out. After an 11% jump for day 1, the second night of the NFL draft surged by 40% as Shedeur Sanders remained on the board. Friday, second and third rounds of the NFL averaged a combined 7.3 million views across TV and streaming, per Nielsen's Fast National released by the NFL Saturday, up 40% from the last year and behind only 2022, 8.2, as the most watched second day of the NFL draft on record. Outside of 2022 and 2020, an outlier in which the draft was among the only live sportscasts for weeks. No other day 2 telecast reached even the 6 million mark. Figures for the individual networks on ABC, ESPN2, NFL Network were not immediately available. Viewership was likely impacted by the saga of Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, son of head coach Deion. An expected first-round pick who was not selected on Thursday or Friday, Sanders was finally picked in the 5th round on Saturday. Draft viewership is impacted by many factors, but nothing moves the needle quite as much as a prominent quarterback going later than expected. Back in 2014, before the sweeteners of out-of-home viewing and broadcast network simulcast, the first round of the draft averaged 12.37 million viewers when Johnny Manziel went from an expected top 10 pick to being selected late in the first round. Yet, even the draft slides of Manziel and Aaron Rodgers before him did not spell into a second, much less third day. The Coach Prime Colorado squad, which moved the needle considerably in 2023 college season and less so last year, obviously, because they didn't lose as much, would seem to be the driving force behind this year's draft audience. Behind the Sanders drama, the team's two-way star Travis Hunter was picked 2nd overall as well. So there it is. I'm not a big conspiracy guy, right? I don't wear a lot of tinfoil hats, but I got to tell you, this one makes the most sense, right? And it's not that I don't think that the NFL has a history, a well-documented history of the R word. It's just that this is a football channel, right? And I'm not about to broach those topics unless extremely necessary. And I think in this particular instance, although there is some of this and there is some of that, and you do see the types of people in my comments commenting stuff, even though I don't even bring it up. I had people bring it up. I have never brought it up other than, hey, it is an element, right? But I have never explicitly talked about that word because I can't even say it because YouTube will, you know what I'm saying, the video. But I don't ever explicitly go into it. I'm not going to go into the history of the well-documented history of it, the reasons, the different. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because, you know what I'm saying? We foosball over here. So in a foosball sense, talking dollars and cents, rhyming accidentally, shout out to Chris Smooth, it makes sense that, hey, man, you know that kid that everybody's looking to see where he gets drafted, positive or negative? They either want to hate on him or they want positive. What if we create a giant media scare? What if we have Mel Kiper shitting his pants on national television trying to defend this kid? What if we have people dumbfounded, just either hating Shedeur or creating a complete new crop of fans who were never wanted to be a Shedeur fan? Like, this is absolute elite marketing on the path of NFL. So before we close it out, let's hear a little bit from Shedeur on his conference of the Browns, and then we'll wrap it up here.
Hi, Shedeur. Congratulations on becoming a Cleveland Brown, first of all. But just wanted to ask you, can you please put into words somehow just the emotional roller coaster that you have been on since the first day of this draft and waiting for this to happen, including a nasty prank call that everyone can agree was a horrible thing, to finally getting that phone call from the Browns and jumping in the pool?
Yeah, I would say I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity throughout everything. I don't ever focus on the negative or even think about the negative because the positive happens so fast and, you know, it's a change of emotions. For me, it was just playing quarterback. That's what it's about. You can't be up too low or anything. You got to be able to celebrate. So when we score a touchdown, we celebrate for a little bit. Now it's back to it's time to work, it's time to go. So that's all it is a football game to me. And that's how I view it. That's my personality is I would say, level through adversity and level through everything, any situation I'm faced with, because I know what it's going to require for me to come out on top.
Hi, Shedeur. This is Ashley Bastak from Cleveland.com. I wanted to talk to you about that because I know you bring up how adversity fuels you a lot. So, I mean, just knowing so many analysts had you pegged as first or second round talent to fall to day 3, how is going when you went in the draft going to motivate you think, going forward in your NFL career?
Yeah, I don't feel like I feel like talent is everywhere throughout the draft. It's about just being picked. And who sees your value, that's pretty much it. Because it's a lot of valuable players that go, you know, in the rounds after the first and second. So I'm a product of one of those, and I understand you can't really categorize, I'll say, my talent. I just got to prove and show what I'm capable of. But what fuels me is my purpose in life and understanding the route that's now that we're going to have to take, understanding that I was able to get an opportunity when a lot of people didn't want to give me an opportunity. So that's what I'm truly thankful for. So that's what fuels me.
I love to hear that, right? I mean, as someone who got painted as somebody who was just brash and arrogant for, you know, at least the past week, and someone that, again, I've watched all the interviews. He doesn't come off as that. He comes off as a young gentleman who was quite confident in his abilities and quite confident in his teammates. Like they said, and Andrew Berry alluded to, teammates loved him. Not a lot of negative things can be said about it, but I think the NFL definitely maximized their money out of him. And I don't think it's any coinkydink that multiple top-round picks or alluded to top-round picks now had prank call problems. When last year there were also prank call problems. A lot of nastiness, man. But y'all get down below. Call me. Are y'all capping? Do you think my theories are bad? Is it not adding up? Are the dollars not making sense? Y'all let me know in the comment section down below. I cannot thank y'all enough for the support over these last few days. It's been phenomenal. Draft's been crazy, but after the draft, we got more to do. We're going to be obviously covering these players and, you know, kind of watching them as they get to OTAs and mini camps and this and that, rookie camps. But also, we still got the transfer portal. I know it's technically closed, but it's not really closed. People hopping in there, hopping out, hopping back in. We got NIL and all the updates there. Plenty of college football drama. I heard Bill Belichick's getting cussed out by his girlfriend in an interview. I don't know, man. If y'all want to see anything particular, let me know down below in the comment section. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't like it, subscribe if you enjoy any of that content. We'll see you next time, man. Keep being great.